Do you change your approach when you're going into an area where there's a live escalated conflict? I know it may be in a different region of the country, but is the approach different? Is the mindset different?
It's not, because potentially any area we go to. I was in Lebanon in 2006 when was the Israeli-Hezbollah conflict broke out. That started off as fairly benign, and suddenly things can escalate quite quickly. We're always well aware, and we try to maintain what we call situational awareness. In other words, we see what's going on, we try and anticipate problems, and then we adjust our how we behave accordingly.
And bearing in mind what's been happening in the country, have you had any specific training in the area of chemical weapons, or any other different training that would have been a departure from perhaps when you were heading to Lebanon, that sort of thing?
No, even Lebanon training, even as part of our recruit training, we've always had an element of what we would call the chemical training, to see both wearing our gear and to be aware of the threat itself. We would have quite a focus on use of our armoured personnel carriers, patrolling, driving skills, gunnery skills, but also more importantly, I suppose, unit cohesion, because as you heard, we were 15 different counties, mainly from the Dublin area, but with people from outside as well, who may not have worked together before. So training is it's not just skills, it's also developing confidence in yourself and in your buddies and the team you're with as well.
And if I was asking Claire the same question, but say it's half 10 on a Tuesday morning with just your average day's work, you're 3-4 weeks into it, what are some of the range of tasks that an average Irish soldier could be engaged in on any given day, at any given hour?
At the moment, going by our mandate as a force mobile reserve, we have to provide what we call a quick reaction force within a very limited period of time. So a number of the people, the company, will be on that. In other words, they'll be ready to go at very, very short notice. And the other half then would do more or less skills training. Our training doesn't finish here once we leave here. When we go out there, we intend continuing our training in such areas such as chemical, biological, nuclear, reactive, medical training, signals training, normal weapon training, physical training, all the kind of training that keeps us going, and we'll train that to keep the guys in touch. We have a number of instructors travelling over with us in those various skills, so we intend running a number of courses, and they're all fairly focused as well on the skill set that we need to deploy over there.
So you got word of a chemical attack. What would be procedure? What would you have to do in the area that you're in?
Well, the first thing obviously is we apply our gas masks, our respirators. We also have an arrangement with the Israeli government that we would evacuate into Israel for decontamination. Now, we don't intend working in a chemical environment. Obviously, where we have a task, force protection measures kick in as well, and if the safety of the troops are compromised as a result, then we will withdraw to Israel.
I suppose people are always kind of interested in what's the downtime like. You obviously don't have all the home comforts of home, but in terms of food and beverages and entertainment, what's laid on for the troops?
Well, in food we're bringing a number of cooks over with us, and if the standard food we had down in Glenavermal is like to go by, we're going to be putting on a bit of weight over there. The standard was very, very good. We have access to Wi-Fi, to the internet on a regular basis. We have what we would call a welfare room where there are various games ongoing, card games, snooker, we have TV, that kind of stuff as well. Alcohol is going to be a problem because obviously if we're on quick time to respond, and because there's driving involved, alcohol obviously impairs us, so it'll be a dry mission as far as we're at the moment. The situation obviously will depend that, but the more tense it is, obviously the higher state of readiness we're at. But generally speaking, people themselves, they'll have their own, we have obviously a number of books, but most guys will be on Wi-Fi or just sit down and have a chat with each other. Or just it's important as well from a point of view of where the accommodation is quite good. Normally there'll be 2-man rooms, and 2 platoons are in one block, which is like 56. So they're interacting quite a lot with each other, and very often you build up very good friendships overseas. You get to work levels with people.
I know people volunteer for this mission, but you're there over Christmas at the same time. Is that a particularly tough time for people?
It's not. I've been overseas in Christmas before, and most of the other people. Once you give your family, your spouses, a kind of heads up, and they can appreciate it. What we'll try and do obviously is accommodate people with young families, because having a young family myself, Christmas is all about the children, and you try and facilitate that as much as possible. We have access to Skype, and as I said, we're only allowed to have a certain number of people away at any one time to try and keep our strength together. So we'll try and facilitate people who have younger families, and then the older guys will stay on and maybe go earlier or go later.